All eyes are on next week when the First Minister will outline a roadmap out of lockdown. But what is the end goal? Does the Scottish Government want to eliminate the virus and get cases down to near zero through an extended lockdown? Or are we going to learn to live with COVID with the help of vaccines and better treatments? Could Scotland choose the former, but England lift restrictions sooner?
Yeah, whatever decisions are being made behind closed doors, the data informing them is promising. Vaccines are cutting deaths faster among the older age groups that have had the jab compared to those that haven't. And cases have fallen around 65% since the peak in January. One scientist who advises the Scottish Government says we should be looking to lift lockdown earlier than expected. But many others are still urging caution. Our political correspondent Andrew Kerr assesses the way ahead.
Everyone wants...
Now, Facebook has blocked all its users in Australia from being able to see news feeds on the platform. The social media giant made the move after a new law was passed which forces it to pay media organisations for featuring them on the platform. Facebook says that's not how the internet works. An Australian minister called it an assault on a sovereign nation. In a minute, we'll discuss whether the UK should follow the same path. But first, here's Shaima Khalil in Sydney.
University, all the best.
Thank you.
I love that.
Her excitement is infectious. If you weren't excited about that before, you certainly would be after that interview.
It was when the gallery said as we were coming over, there's a NASA t-shirt. This is huge enthusiasm.
You've got to get that NASA t-shirt on. But actually, I've noticed that today, kind of watching all the coverage of it and all the excitement. And actually, people were really worried in case it went wrong right at the last minute, weren't they? But everyone involved, if you saw the pictures there of them all kind of jumping up, I mean, it's been a long time coming. 7-month journey. It's amazing they can actually pinpoint the time it's going to land on Mars after a 7-month journey. It's just
to the minute.
To the minute. And it was right down to the minute, 5 to 9. Amazing. Good for our programme.
Exactly. That's
okay.
it.
Now, some of the day's other news now, and a deadly winter storm in the US state of Texas means nearly 7 million have been told to boil tap water before consuming it after power blackouts at treatment facilities. It's the...
Now, there are renewed calls for so-called buffer zones to be implemented outside all of Scotland's sexual health and abortion clinics as a new petition gains momentum. The campaign group Back Off Scotland want anti-abortion protesters to be banned from standing close to the facilities as they say many women feel intimidated. But protesters insist they're there to offer support to those who might have been pressured into their decision.
The body representing Scotland's councils had promised to make a country-wide decision on buffer zones, but there's been no decision yet. Tonight, the Scottish Government has told the 9 councils already have powers to introduce bylaws to make the changes. Hope Webb has more.
News.
It really is so frustrating, isn't it, when you're trying to do something and it's just kind of buffering away. But I can only imagine if you're trying to do homeschooling, trying to work at the same time. It's just a nightmare.
On the connection at once.
Everyone on at the same time, yeah.
Disaster. Right, some of the other day's stories now, and it's thought all of the inspiring stories from hospital wards over the last year may have encouraged record numbers of people to apply for nursing.
Now, Perth's become the first city in the UK to have its own colony of resident beavers in hundreds of years.
Yeah, what a story. The mammals, which were extinct in Scotland until recently, are establishing a strong presence in the fair city, according to researchers. Here's Andrew Anderson.
News, Perth.
Now, many of us have been learning new things over the past year and brushing up on old skills, haven't we? Whether it be baking, Zooming or rediscovering your creative side. Well, Alistair Faulkner is one of those people.
Yeah, he's been saving lives as part of his day job at Ninewells Hospital in Dundee, but also put his lifelong love of painting to good use as well. In fact, he's starring in a new TV documentary after making a portrait of his trauma team working at NHS Tayside during this COVID crisis, and I'm delighted to say he joins us now from Dundee. Alistair, thanks very much for your time tonight. Tell us a bit about this project that you're involved in then.
And now we have Laura here. Hello,
Yes.
Laura. What is
We are
happening?
back.
Do we have an update?
Here, I don't know if you can see my sheets of paper, but they're furiously writing because there's been so much drama happening in this game. It's the first leg of the Europa League, last 32. Rangers against Antwerp. It's been such an amazing game. It's been so end-to-end, so many goals. Up until a couple of minutes ago, Antwerp were winning 3-2. Rangers have since scored 2 goals to be leading 4-3. So I think we can see the third.
I love that Chris says if you've got plans on Saturday, it's like we're not doing anything.
We're not doing it. I was about to say it's another wet and windy weekend, but that's all right because we don't have any plans. So.
Yeah, and no snow as well. So
No. The weather window, according to Chris, is on Saturday morning if you want to get out and about. So there you go. That's when you go for your walk on.
But the only thing we can do these days.
It is about the only thing we can do. But we shouldn't complain, especially when we see the horrendous weather that some other places are getting, should we?
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
Okay, now that is all we have got time for this evening. But as always, thank you very much indeed for watching.
Yeah, John Beattie and Laura Miller will be here tomorrow night at the earlier time of 7 o'clock. Thanks so much for watching. And don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter at BBC Scot9.
Yes, have a very good evening.
Good night.